Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything can you offer me today?
An obscure body in the SK system. The inhabitants refer to it as the planet Earth.
How peaceful it looks. It must be annihilated. Send Rik and Danny on War Rocket Ajax. In 2013, Ming the Merciless, ruler of the known universe, declares the Earth to immediate termination. To accomplish this awesome decree, Rik and Danny are dispatched to the planet on War Rocket Ajax. The two encountered something they never thought they'd find, though. Movies. Stalled in their given task, Rik and Danny comb the movies of the Earth, sending reports of their greatness back to Mungo in what is now called the Hail Ming Power Hour.
Well, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the only podcast that's hovering over your planet. Right here in War Rocket Ajax, it is the Hail Ming Power Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Rick, and with me is my brother, Danny Bennett.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hail Ming Power Hour, where we bring you the classic movies of our time, your time, and any time. And we hover above you in space, ready to destroy your planet in a nice way.
Right. And as long as we keep seeing the movies that we've been seeing, you're not in any threat at any moment. So today we're going to cover another of the John Carpenter classics, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. And, you know, I thought I was going to be more excited about They Live, but this was even better than I expected when I sat down to check it out again.
Yeah. So off screen, he started, Danny and I started talking a little bit, and he was like, yeah, man, I was like, hold it, save it for the show, because I feel the same way. This is one of those that I didn't appreciate enough when I was younger. I guess I expected more action, but looking at it now, this thing's action-packed.
Yeah, I agree. It's, of course, we're talking about 1981's Escape from New York.
New York!
Which, is surprisingly prophetic in its prediction of the future. I think most of these things have come to pass, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah. The fact that the criminals in 1997, is that the year that it forwards to, or is it?
Yeah. 1997 is now. That
they're still driving a 1977 Cadillac. That's the vehicle of choice.
Well, it's what they had on the island when the walls were erected and the bridges were all bombed.
That's right. So, but yeah, man, this is going to be a great one. Hope you guys are primed up for this one, because I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back at ya!
The Hail Ming Power Hour is brought to you by
Dad-ass, donkey-assisted transport. Need a reliable donkey to get you around? Then you need Dad-ass.
And loyal subjects of Mungo like you. Hail Ming!
Hello, this is The Doom Show. Keep on keeping on and keep on trucking, America. We don't listen to our feedback because we don't get any.
The truth hurts.
I just alienated the two people that give us constant feedback. Sorry, guys.
That's gotta go. That's gotta go in there.
So on the show, we talk about giallo movies and slasher movies and cult movies. Sometimes we even talk about Cameron Mitchell and his movies. I am Richard. Who are you?
I'm Brad, the guy that's not Richard, or Jeffrey, or Simon.
That's right, we have 4 people, and we always talk at once, except to each other.
Jeffrey lives up north. Simon lives across the world. Richard lives in Penis, Alabama.
Hello, This is the Doom Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Check out the other shows on legionpodcast.com. You can check out more Hello, This is the Doom Show at hellodoomshow.podomatic.com or at doommoviethon.com.
Check for our Amazon exclusive Hello, This is the Doom Show cookbook.
Do you like hot dogs?
We got them.
Do you like mac and cheese?
We got it.
Do you like cheddar?
We have it.
Actually, we don't.
No cheddar.
Just Colby. Colby Jack.
Hello, this is the Doom Show. We never gave up on you because you never gave up on us.
Wow.
All right, everybody, here we are. We are back to cover Escape from New York, the masterpiece from John Carpenter. Man, I tell you, one thing about this movie, before we even start getting into what we like about it, but he is hitting his stylish stride at this point, man. There's some really great scenes in this movie that are all based off of lighting and just, you know, the way that the shot is put together. There's some great work.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I know that it's a badass 1980s flick where they're sending in, you know, it's kind of like Suicide Squad in 1981, right? They rig him up to explode unless he brings him back to president. They could care less if he just dies over there on Manhattan Island.
Well, you know what? That sounds good, but I'm not for sure that that's what we hear in the synopsis. So let's check out the synopsis we got.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's from Jimmy Stewart. Let's see what we got here.
Hello, everybody. I'm doing the plot synopsis. It's a film I haven't seen myself, but I hear that your kids go crazy for it, or at least you did. I don't know if they still do, but it's called Escape from New York, and it's from 1981. The plot synopsis goes something like, it's the future, and crime is like out of control in New York City's Manhattan. It's now a maximum security prison. Grabbing a bargaining chip right out of the air, convicts bring down the president's plane in old Gotham. Gruff Snake Plissken, a one-eyed lone warrior new to prison life, is coerced into bringing the president and his cargo out of this land of undesirables.
Yeah.
Did he say nude prison life?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure that's Jimmy Stewart.
He seemed a little flustered about something. And it's probably because, you know, Escape from New York.
Maybe I read the message wrong. I need to look at it again and see who it's supposed to be. We'll reveal who did this in a little bit because it ties into something that happens later on in the show. But it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. You know, it was pretty close to the movie for once.
Yeah, we're not used to that. So
usually they say it's about, you know, soap making and, you know, and pilgrim times or something. It's
space werewolves and stuff like that.
Space werewolves.
Yeah, man. All right, no beating around the bush. Danny, what's your numero uno reason to watch this movie?
I'll tell you the first thing I saw and hadn't remembered. Hey, it's Tom Atkins.
Yeah, right from the get-go.
It's like no smoking in this zone unless you're Tom Atkins because you can smoke anywhere you damn well please.
Yeah, because it just shows no smoking and no, what was the other? Talking?
No cursing or, yeah, it's like a whole laundry list of things you can't do. And Tom just comes on in, lights one up, blows it right in Lee Van Cleef's face. He's like, yeah, I know you're good, you're bad, and you're ugly. Just, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Tom
you're the master. The master of what?
And, you know, he's not even, you know, he's in the whole movie, but he's not really in control of anything, but you always notice he's there. He's the one pushing the buttons. He's the one getting the communique. He's the one calling everybody up. He knows what's going on.
Hey, he's already like drumming up business and smoking a cigarette at the same time while Van Cleef is just getting out of a car. So
it's true.
Yeah, man. Tom Atkins. Anytime Atkins is in something, yeah, you could say we're on the Atkins diet. Yeah, man. Can't go wrong with Tom Atkins. All right.
Okay, so what you got?
I'm going straight for the jugular here. The big fight with Ox Baker.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, it's like, wait a minute. This movie took a hard left turn. We're just going to take him and throw him in the ring with the meanest guy in professional wrestling. For you folks that don't know, Ox Baker was a big-time 60s, 70s wrestler in the 80s. His moniker was pretty much being the meanest guy in professional wrestling, and he was. And lucky for you folks, we have an interview with him here in a little bit, so you'll get to hear him talk a little bit about it. So, but yeah, man, the fight scene is awesome. The changing of the weapons, all the craziness that's going on, the people cheering, it's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with any of that. Like, from the moment that he shows up, he looks like, the devil straight out of hell. He's a 6'5" madman with a Fu Manchu. His facial hair rivals mine for some authentic awesomeness. Looks like Karnov.
Yeah.
Dude's kicking ass and taking names, and he's all out of names.
And he turns up his eyebrows too.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, you jumped way into the movie, but that's not what we're about. We're not telling you the story. We're telling you why you need to watch this movie.
Yeah, man. You want to see a good throwdown with an unexpected ending? I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but it's an awesome fight.
That's great. I mean, I don't think when I was a kid, I really appreciated just how dangerous this whole thing is. You see two guys whacking at each other with baseball bats.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I don't want to get hit by a baseball bat. As a kid, I thought, baseball bat, it doesn't even have a sword edge. But like, I watched it this time, I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
That dude's going to beat him to death.
And then you get the ones with the nails in it. So.
Yeah. And I agree. That is one badass arena scene. Yeah. I have it in my notes a little further down, because I was going a little chronologically, but no, you make an excellent point.
Yeah, man.
So my next reason.
Yeah.
And again, it's something that I don't think I appreciated when I watched this when I was younger, is Romero, the second in command to the Duke of New York.
Right.
He's like a punk with Lion-O from the Thundercats hair and some sharpened teeth. He shows up out of nowhere when they have the president, and he's like, you get out of here or we're going to kill the president. And they try and negotiate, and he just starts counting down because he doesn't care. They're going to kill him. And this dude, he plays this gonzo character to the nines.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tom Roundtree, I think is, look it up. I mean,
it's badass. That's the next one on my list, man. I said, Steve Buscemi looking dude with spiked up hair and the president's finger. But yeah, man. I mean, I actually said he was a Steve Buscemi looking dude, which ironically, Buscemi's in the next one.
Right.
And I thought maybe that's a kind of a thing. Hey, just get this other guy. It looks like the guy from the first one. But
we need somebody with a real square face.
Yeah, the whole the scene when he walks up and says, "If you touch me, he dies. If you step any closer, he dies. If you say anything else, he dies." It's like, okay. Yeah. And then they start, "Hey, I'm ready to talk." And he starts counting down. You got 20 seconds or he dies. It's a great scene.
It is a great scene. And, like, he's every bit like an 80s punk criminal, like showing up on the street. There's a lot of that going on. But, I mean, I won't get into that. I'm just going to say that he is a reason to watch the movie. He shows up in several key scenes, and he chews up the scenery.
Absolutely. How about the scene outside the trains? And they're walking away, and he just points back and points at him while he's walking away. Like, stay there, but he won't even. I mean, it's just he's great. He is definitely a top reason.
I think that's I think I put down when he first showed up, oh man, that guy's a reason to watch it. And then at that scene, I was like, I got to learn this guy's name.
Yeah,
because he's great.
Richard Roundtree.
Hail Ming.
That's not Richard Roundtree. That's yeah.
I think his name is Tom Roundtree or Doubletree. Maybe it's Doubletree. Anyway, what I meant was the character's name, and it's Romero. So
right.
You can look it up. Google it.
Google it. Don't Google that stuff because I hit the wrong button. Because
you can count on my stool.
Yeah, it took too long. I knew it was coming this time.
All right, my next one. Dude, I still love the graphics in this movie, man. All the computer imagery. This is early on, and they still look fantastic. I love it.
Well, the reason it works is because it's supposed to be on like some kind of readout. It's like the targeting reticle in Star Wars. You know,
yep.
It doesn't have to look like real stuff because it's really just a little graphic representation of where the goal fire is going, the goal fire, the glider that he's coming in on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to look real. And so it still looks like a great, Tron-esque kind of cityscape.
Yep. And even the opening, when you get in the backstory of the wall being built around Staten Island and all this stuff, I mean, you're seeing all these graphics and you're like, I still love the way this looks, man.
Yeah. It doesn't have to look great. And even though it's in the future, it still is kind of like a paramilitary thing. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't have, it gets the point across. I agree. Like all that stuff. It's very 80s.
Yeah.
Very 80s.
Yeah. Very 1997.
And yeah, Nick Castle was like, can I borrow some of this stuff? I'm making this other movie over here about this guy with this. Nick Castle's like, this stuff looks great. Yeah. I've got an idea. Yeah. Robert Preston shows up, and
the only thing is there's one part in Escape from New York where, Snake's eye patch has come off and he goes, and we die.
Hail Ming.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
I gotta say it. So like we haven't said it before now, but it is absolutely 100% the reason to watch Escape from New York, and that's Snake effing Plissken.
Absolutely.
Kurt Russell was trying to break out of his Mouseketeer reputation. He was trying to get away from Disney movies for kids, and he did it with this movie as the badass known as Snake Plissken. He's a one-eyed loner who's committed crimes and could give a rat's ass if you're going to give him a way out because he's his own man, and he's just fantastic in this.
Yeah.
From the flyaway hair to the eye patch to the leather jacket, he's just 100% awesome.
And the setups of a lot of the shots too, like I was saying at the first of this part, is, when he's in the Gulfire and you've got the red light behind him and the neon on his face coming from the screen.
Yeah,
such cool shots, man. I mean, it's magic. It's a little Argento-ish. Some of those shots.
Yeah,
I noticed the streets and stuff would be like these nasty, abandoned street shots, but you'd have this glimmer of light that would be shining across a wet street. And it's like, it's great shots. Great shots.
And the director of photography was Italian. And he was, and one of the reasons he didn't want to film this on a back lot made to look like a city was because he said the streets would look wrong.
Yeah, sure. Makes total sense.
They ended up filming a lot of the movie in East St. Louis. A lot of the buildings had been destroyed by the fire, and they just never got rebuilt. So it had that look of a derelict, street with buildings from about the right era. So they really were able to just kind of walk in there and film.
That explains why in 1997 there was a whole store, a corner store that was nothing but chock full of nuts.
Chock full of nuts. I don't know if you're Hail Minging it. I saw it too. They lingered on that stuff.
Yeah. The biggest, sponsor of this movie was chock full of nuts.
They're like, we want our sign to be big. We want it to be right here where everybody can read it for a good 30 seconds. And then you'll get our $5,000.
Yeah, man. All right. So I did graphics. You did Snake Bliss. Steak.
It almost goes without saying, but I have to say it because, we can't leave it unsaid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's everything about him, right? He's the anti-hero that we just love, no matter what movie. He's just kind of all of it rolled into one. The whole idea of when I get back, I'm going to kill you. I mean, that's legendary stuff.
He is the anti-hero. You got an excellent point there. Like nothing about this he's doing out of the kindness of his heart. And if he had his own way, he would have bailed in the first minute. But also part of that is the fact that the president's not such a great guy either.
Right.
You know, like there's a whole system that he could give a rat's ass about, and he's got good reason.
Right. I do have as one of mine coming down, and we'll just skip it, but Snake busting through the wall, man. shoot through and just busting through. Which when I look at it now, I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I mean, I love the idea, but that's some thin walls, dude.
It's kind of like when Arsenio Hall gets that bookcase falls on him and he busts out and it's like a human shape, even though he's just busting the thing out like with his hands, it's still like a human shape. It's that kind of thing. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's just one of those where the concept of it is actually a little cooler than what you see, but it's still awesome.
Yeah, and RoboCop did it better.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah, well, it was RoboCop.
Right. All right. Since you went there, I'm going to go with, I've got Adrienne Barbeau. She was starting to make her rounds at this point. John Carpenter's main squeeze of the time. The Duke's main squeeze, or the Brain's main squeeze. That's who it is.
Yeah.
That she was given by the Duke to the Brain for him to make all the gasoline or whatever else he was doing.
And he's got a big pump jack in the back of his office.
Something like that. But yeah, she's one of those people that we just grew up with in so many films, and she's really kind of the same character no matter what she's in, but it works.
Well, she gets ate up real good by that creature in the crate.
Yeah.
Billy,
honestly, what would you do without me?
I don't know, Billy.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree. Adrienne Barbeau and Harry Dean Stanton, they're outstanding in their places, kind of unofficial and unwilling helpers of Snake. So it's kind of like a lesser of two evils here. They think he might actually get him out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you even get the chick earlier on that's, hey, you know, so you're getting him out of here? Can you take me too? The girl's got the mullet haircut or whatever.
Yeah.
So everybody, if they feel like they got a chance to get out, it doesn't matter who it is, they're trying to latch on to them. So. Yeah,
it's true. And then my next reason is the reason, because this New York prison is genuinely horrifying.
Sure.
Like again, when I watched it as a kid, I think like you were saying, there wasn't enough action. But in this one, the guy's running down the street and he's banging on all the manhole covers with the steel pipe. I'm like, what's going on here? You know, and then I'm thinking, yeah, this isn't all that scary. And then just droves of like vagabonds, you know, show up out of the manhole covers like they're in the Thriller video.
Exactly.
And you know, like steam coming up, you know, the funk of 40,000 years. And here they come. And then dudes just start running around street corners. And it's like, it's genuinely horrifying.
The crazy.
There's no way out of that.
Yeah. It's, again, you kind of put that stuff aside. I guess maybe because we'd seen it so much and you expected to see maybe humanoids or something to that degree, but when you just see they're just a bunch of crazy, nasty people, you're like, but when you watch it now, you're like, holy crap, this place it's worse than a prison.
Yeah, it's just like the baseball bats. I guess, you know, when I was a teenager, I thought, oh, you know, he just punched him in the face, and then they're just people, and they look bums, you know, they're not scary. But now, older, I'm like, holy cow! I mean, there's like 400 dudes, you know, going down each city block, and they don't care what they're tearing up, and they're not tearing each other up, so you know they're going to get you. That was genuinely scary.
Well, the whole thing, and I may be ruining another part here, but when Snake is following the tracker and he goes up and he finds the guy that's just wailing on, you see the watch that belongs to the president. He's just wailing on that dude, and then when he gets that guy off of him, it's just some random dude who's just sitting there taking it. I mean, it's just like,
right.
You know, it's almost like he was enjoying it. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, it's George Buck Flower, isn't it? From
yeah.
It's the guy with the champagne and the tuxedo.
Let me show you around.
He's just waiting for his chance to lie with some aliens and get out of there.
Yeah, I'm the president.
Hail Ming.
But yeah,
right.
I mean, it's just how demented this story gets, man. The people he's having to go through to find this is pretty brilliant setup.
I think this might have been what was missing from They Live. Like in this, there's a path.
Yeah.
You know, he goes down a road. He's looking for something down there. He finds it, and then there's a linear path. Whereas with They Live, he just finds out everything's screwed, and then finds out why, kind of in a like, let's explain this all to you kind of way, and then like the end question mark. You know, it isn't quite as tight a story.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Where are we at?
I think I just said it's a horrific hellscape in New York, and that's a reason to watch. What's your next reason?
I got Duke's Caravan, man. Because every time those cars keep coming, you keep hearing that cowbell song.
and the chandeliers hanging from the front of the car. Yeah.
And that Cadillac's got a paint job too, man. It's almost kind of a hologram sheen to it. So when the right light hits it the right way, it's got all these sparkles and stuff in it. It's like, wow, it's kind of ahead of its time.
It's like, yeah, man. The Duke is coming. Sparkles and chandeliers.
Well, when you see chandeliers and hear that cowbell, it's about to go on.
Yeah, Mr. Isaac Hayes is about to be the Duke of New York, and he's all up in your business.
But I love the idea of them riding around in cars, and that's the sign of, I don't know, ruling everything is because you can actually transport around.
I guess so. I mean, there was a dude with a car that didn't seem too keen on keeping it because, Snake just snuck into the driver's seat. When he came over there, he popped him in the face, Like, I need your car. He didn't tell him. He just beat him up, took it.
Yeah, the butt of his gun told him.
It was the Brady Bunch's car too, wasn't it? It was like a wood paneled station wagon.
Yep. It's like the car from National Lampoon's Vacation.
The family truckster. Yeah, he'd replaced all the windshields and windows with steel bars because, people crazy up in there.
Crazy people. But yeah, man, I love the whole entourage of a bunch of people that, I mean, are any of them really bad dudes? I mean, when Snake wakes up and he sees those guys standing over him, and they're all wearing the different colored sunglasses, and it's like, this is the rough bunch.
And they were the bad dudes, like one of them had one fist up, and the other one had two fists up, and they're like, "I'm bad."
You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing.
Yo, ding dong, yo.
ding dong, yo.
All right, so we can't go through all this talk about driving without pointing out another 100% awesome reason to watch this movie. And it's Ernest Borgnine as Cabby.
Borgnine, man. Yeah.
I drove this cab here for 30 years. I mean, he's just a nonstop claptrap. And while he's on there, like he gives some good information, but he also just keeps yammering the whole time he's on the screen. He's that kind of guy. He's never met a stranger, and just like everybody else, he wants to get out of here. And, oh, I knew that guy, and I was here for that. And I mean, he talks as much as Roddy Piper does.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Roddy Piper and him were back to back there when we went to Frightmare that year.
That's right. They were. Yeah.
We didn't wait in line for Borgnine.
No. Should have, though. We should have.
Maybe we should have.
I think he died like 3 months after that.
Yeah, so did Roddy Piper, though.
Yeah, true part.
Ooh. We went to a dark place.
I did?
We did.
Oh, it's all good here. Oh, you're talking about...
All right. So, yeah, well, I mean, but Ernest Borgnine in this part, he's every bit comedy relief and enjoyable sidekick character. And he leaves them for dead at some point. He just jumps in his cab and drives away because everybody there is ready to bite you back, as soon as you turn around. Ernest Borgnine, man.
He says He says,
Awesome.
everybody knows that like 10 times. Nobody talks to the Duke. Everybody knows that. Nobody talks to the Duke. He says, everybody knows that probably 10 times. It's a drinking game for you folks. Hail Ming drinking game. You have to have a drink every time he says, everybody knows that. How about his cassette collection?
Yeah, a little box with the grooves for the yeah.
I mean, and the thing about it, and this is a nice way to do a little foreshadowing of kind of what happens. It's again, it's really quite brilliant because they show the cassettes, and this is the other thing too, because in my mind I'm going, wow, 1997, we would have just MP3'd that thing, you know?
Yeah, it would have been broadcast over the internet. You know, it would have been safe somewhere.
But
this cassette tape's really important, y'all. Really important.
Well, and I have to say, in 81, cassettes still hadn't broken through like they expected either. I mean, because people are still doing albums, 8 tracks, and then cassettes. So, I mean, about another year or so, cassettes become the big thing. So he was kind of ahead as far as what was coming next, but as far as 97, I mean, we've totally changed. But yeah, I love the idea of his whole sound and his cab comes from that little bitty single speaker cassette player, just like the one I used to have when I was a kid.
Right.
And I would hold it to a speaker whenever I heard a song I wanted on the radio, just record it on a cassette so I could listen to a very crappy version of the song I just heard played back to me through an even worse speaker on a cassette.
That's still how you do it, isn't it? Like, that's how you get all your music.
That's for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's just so easy.
Kids out there listening, perfect service announcement. If you're recording music off the radio onto a cassette, you're breaking the law. Don't do it.
Especially if you're recording Judas Priest.
Breaking the law, breaking the law. Yeah, don't be recording music with your cassette players, kids, because it's the devil.
Kids. There are kids that listen to our podcast. Yes, indeed.
Hail Ming.
And I'm just gonna say, as soon as I saw that tape deck, I thought of the end of this movie. That's how good it is. It's like, oh, the tape, and I saw the whole play out of the end of the movie because you're right. It's just so brilliant.
Yeah, it's good, man. All right, you did Cabby. I'm gonna do. How about that big display of weapons that Snake never uses?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
He's got that whole table covered with all these weapons, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. He's got all these weapons, and it's kind of like Roddy Piper's tools that he carries with him everywhere, and They Live.
Yeah,
really?
Well, and it's kind of like at the Resistance and They Live. It's like, here you go, all these, it's like grenades and like all this stuff, and here's your belt with the button underneath it. Don't lose your belt with the button in it, and your time clock for death, which is the coolest thing ever. That wide ass digital watch that counts down how many minutes he's got left. How cool is that?
Yeah. The little eagle head thing that flips up, and you've got the red button underneath. I mean, all that stuff is
the belt buckle.
So awesome.
It was also stylized. I mean, I would have killed somebody for that watch.
Heck yeah.
In the 80s. And then that watch just counted him down to his death. And it wasn't even it was the coolest thing, and it wasn't even a weapon.
Right. But you know what was a weapon? It looked like a throwing star that was cut out of a piece of tin. I was like,
he had 2 guns. Like, it was like, here's a gun and a bigger gun.
It's like he was just looking across there going, man, what a bunch of crap. Y'all want to go fight people with this stuff?
He had it all on his belt, like he's running around like Wyatt Earp or something, he's with his he's got like aqua camo pants and like the sleeveless shirt with the zippers on the shoulders, man.
Heck yeah, man.
Cool stuff, man. It's cool stuff.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll talk about these weapons here in a little bit because there's something significant in it. But yeah, man. All right, that's what I got. I got the display of weapons.
Well, I say Lee Van Cleef, man.
Oh yeah.
This dude's a ruthless mofo. So he's the guy that calls Snake in, and he's like, I need you to go get the president. I don't care about your president. And he's like, well, I don't care about you, but we'll take away, they're gonna take away all of his charges, right? All of his charges in the United States, because it's the U.S. president, and he's an international criminal. He killed people all over the place, or stole stuff from people, or whatever it was he does. There's like a list. There's a rap sheet, but I don't remember what it was. And Lee Van Cleef, he's one step ahead of him. He's like, I figured you'd double back, so I made sure to get them to inject this pair of capsules into your bloodstream, and they're gonna detonate his arteries.
Arteries in his, and it would make a pinhole, and
they're gonna dissolve over 24 hours. 24 hours to the second. That's how good the government is at making these things. And then once they dissolve, they're gonna blow up. For some reason, I thought maybe it's because it said arteries. I thought about the heart, but he got them like the dude deactivated him with X-rays on his neck. So he must have been like, they're gonna blow up, and he was just gonna like keel over that way. But Lee Van Cleef stuck that in there. Didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell his mama. Nobody. And he was gonna make Snake do his bidding one way or another, because he's a ruthless. He was a ruthless generalissimo. What was he like? Some kind of agent.
Yeah, he just ran the police force, I guess, more than anything else, with the military. But
and his name was Hawk, Hauk, Hawk,
Yeah.
Hawk, Hayuk.
This dude was so awesome that when he takes a break, he just goes and stands on one of the walls and smokes a cigarette and watches watches what's going on. That's how
He's
bad
dedicated.
he is. Yeah.
He's dedicated. Yeah. I don't need breaks.
Yeah.
I don't go to the bathroom. No.
Just take a gun out here and shoot people while I'm smoking cigarettes. Hey, all right.
He's just waiting for Tom Atkins to leave, and he's not going to leave until he does, because all the cool shit happens, or with all the cool stuff happens when Tom Atkins is there. That's he doesn't want to miss anything.
Oh, yeah, man. Lee Van Cleef, man. He's excellent. Excellent. All right. I've got this note. Kurt Russell is 2 for 2 for throwing a knife and sticking it in somebody's head. It's almost like John Carpenter said, hey, remember that thing that we did in Escape from New York? Let's do it again in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. And he also must have told him, he's like, so remember when you had that plane and it was hanging on the edge of that building? Well, pretend that this wheelchair is the plane, and the well is the building, and just use your big old biceps and get yourself out of that. Such a weird scene, but yeah. It's such a good shot too, because that's where he finally finds the president, and he kind of does a glance, because he sees this one-eyed, superhero coming through the door, and this guy turns around with a crossbow, shoots Snake in the leg, but at the same time, he whips out a knife and just right between the eyes. Whoop. Yeah, it's awesome. It is good, and so here's where I got in my notes. Romero points, and I said, "How did I miss this ghoul before?" I don't know how I missed that dude, because he's like the mad genius from Band of the Hand.
Yeah,
he's got the hair for it. All right. My next reason is this is a question for the internet out there, and I will hope that nobody ever answers it, because I'm glad to not know. The Brain is he's betrayed Snake before, and Snake's like, yeah, remember what happened to you know what happened to Fresno Bob?
Fresno Bob.
I'm like, I don't know what happened to Fresno Bob, but I can't imagine it was good. With a name like Fresno Bob, the guy was
he had to be eccentric for sure. I mean, Fresno Bob,
and he was either a poker player or a billiards tycoon or something with a name like that.
There's several words in this movie that make you go, huh? Like, we telexed them the other day. I'm like, telexed?
I telexed the Tosh station for some power converters. Yeah, it's some dialogue that doesn't need explanation and is still pretty awesome.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Tom Atkins said it, so it doesn't matter. It's awesome.
Absolutely, he's like an angel. He's like an angel,
like a little angel. Oh. Uh-oh.
So I got...
A mouse died. All right, what you got?
I had What Happened to Fresno Bob, but I'll go
Okay.
I'll go again if you want.
No, that's fine. I'll go. How about Donald Pleasance, the president of extreme prejudice? Man, talking about a guy losing his cool. Using a machine gun. You're only number one. Ah!
Well, I'm not gonna dig too deep into it because this is Escape from New York. There was a distrust of government coming into this because Nixon had just happened, and that affected John Carpenter's screenwriting. But yeah, this dude, he cuts off the winch that's taken Snake, the guy who just saved his life to safety, so that he can draw the Duke out and shoot him because the Duke what embarrassed him and tortured him. Yeah, nobody wants to be embarrassed and tortured. But it just shows where this dude's priorities are. Yeah, I'll bring you up, man, because you saved my life. But first I gotta shoot this dude and then yell at him a whole bunch.
I've got to use you as a dangling carrot first.
Right. I know he'll come out to shoot you. So what he does, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but the Duke
president.
deserved it, right? I mean, the Duke had him up against the wall and he was shooting at him.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd probably lose my cool too, but how about the fact of the pod? I got a bunch of sequences here. First off, the dude that's trying to break down the door with the gun, but he's just barely hitting the door. Yep, they bolted the door. I'm like, boy, don't put too much effort into that. But
well, the thing's made out of cardboard. You can't hit it too hard.
But let's put the president in this egg that Mork from Mork would have wrote in, paint it bright red or orange, whatever it is, and shoot it down there. That way everybody can find it.
Right. It's the presidential Easter egg hunt. But the president's actually inside this time.
Oh, yeah, man. That whole sequence, I'm like, it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, even the panel inside the egg when he's getting into it, got all the lights and stuff. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool.
You have a good point that it has the look.
Yeah.
Everything about it is pretty badass.
Yeah. Show.
Okay, so I've got a don't miss it moment, okay? Don't miss it. In the arena scene where he's fighting Ox, there's a dude who's walking around with a big old Coca-Cola bottle cap on his back. I mean, it's like 2.5 feet around, and he's wearing it like a backpack. And I guess it's like chock full of nuts, and Coca-Cola were giving them money for this because this dude's in like every wide shot, and he's over there. Hey, I've got a big Coca-Cola bottle cap shield on my back. Don't miss it.
Oh, wow. That's unusual.
It was weird.
But yeah, man, the whole running down of the time, getting there at the last moment, getting the capsules disintegrated so it doesn't explode. Everything about it, man. And you were saying it like we said earlier. Enjoyed it way more than I remembered enjoying it.
I agree.
Because everyone's coming to New York.
all the criminals, at least.
Yeah. All right, cool. You got anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, I just want to say one more time, if you haven't watched Escape from New York in a while, and you're about our age, I mean, maybe if you're younger, you'll be like, what is all this? It's got flaws, but it's really fun to rewatch.
Absolutely. I feel exactly the same way. That's going to lead us right into our next segment with an introduction that goes like this.
Hey everyone, this is Court Psyops, and it's time to get fact with Rik and Danny. Hey everyone, this is Court Psyops, and it's time to get fact. God, get fra. You've been f***ed. You've been f***ed. I know it sounds too much like f***ed. It's fact. How the f*** am I supposed to say fact and not make it sound like that's f***ing f***ed? Fact. Well, that still sounds like f***, doesn't it? Fact. Hey, everyone, this is Court Psyops, and it's time to give God. Hey, Court.
Almost got it.
Can you make it sound like without making it sound like Can you say fact and make it sound like but don't make it sound like
In case you don't know, that's Court Psyops.
Make sure you check out his show because he's a big friend of the family. He's a big friend of the show and friend of the Legion podcast family. And he puts out a lot of shows and they're really good quality.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say he's the most intelligent guy that I know in podcasting. I love Court, man. His show, Cinema Psyops, is on Legion podcast along with us. You got to go check out his show. Him and Matt do a great show together. And it's always a blast to have him. It was also him doing the synopsis, too. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah. I thought that sounded like... It didn't sound like him.
Yeah.
It sounded kind of like Jimmy Stewart.
We'll see if that's what it is or not. So, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to get fact with Rik and Danny. And we've got some facts to tell you. And you got to decide which one is true out of all the other ones. So we've got several. And if you pick the right one and you let us know, you get prizes. Like this prize, which is a high-quality treasure box collection version of White Zombie, right?
Look at that.
Paper edition, right?
Look at that.
Yeah, and then not only that, but when you open it up, inside of it is a concert of Harry Connick Jr. So, there you go.
It's two gifts in one.
That's right. It's like 2 hands in the bush is better than 1 in a bird or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly how that goes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Court.
All right. You want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start. All right. So
yeah,
the 69th Street Bridge, was actually a bridge in the city of East St. Louis, where most of that was filmed. And for liability reasons, they bought the bridge from the city of East St. Louis for $1 before filming, and then sold it back to the government of East St. Louis after filming, like I said, for liability purposes in case something went wrong while they were making the movie.
Did they sell it for the same price, or did, inflation go up?
They sold it for $1. I think they probably was, but yeah, that's a good question. That could have been a way to, it's gone up.
Right.
You want people to drive across this bridge or not?
Hey, this bridge is going to be famous now, so,
That's right. It's where the Duke of New York lost his life.
Right. And Cabby blew up.
And the Brain lost his wife.
Yeah. Sounds like a theme song or something. And the Cabby lost his cab, and the Brain lost his wife. And Duke lost his life. All right. Here's mine. The original concept, or the original idea for this movie was to have 2 movies. Of course, we know later on we got a second movie, but the idea was a little different. The idea of the original was to have the second movie, and it picks up right after the fight in the ring. Actually, it's supposed to stop. Think of Rocky, right? It stops right at the fight. And what they were going to do is they were going to pick up the second half of the movie where Snake looks at his watch, and it says there's an hour and a half left when he's in the ring. So that's where it was going to stop. And then the next movie, part 2, was supposed to be in real time. So you got an hour and a half second movie that's in real time according to his watch. And that's how they're going to finish out. That was the way they were going to shoot it initially. And I guess because, I don't know, financial stuff or whatever, but they ended up having to back out of that idea. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen that version.
Well, I think, and then later they picked it back up and they made 24.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's probably the concept where it came from.
There's Kiefer Sutherland just playing Snake Plissken and maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
No one knows who they were or what they were doing. All right.
Bonus fact, I guess, because we only have 1 and 1, right? Or are we doing 2?
You're supposed to have 2. 2 apiece.
I've got 2.
All right.
All right. Kurt Russell kept his costume in his closet and actually drummed out the original costume when they were filming Escape from LA.
Yep.
And 15 years later, he's still fit. And Goldie Hawn, who he's married to, in case you didn't know, several times had asked him why he had that in the closet and told him to get rid of it.
There you go. Shame on you.
Or so they say. You know, she probably was like, hey, put that on, you know.
Yeah, bring out that eye patch.
No, not the other one. Cover the other eye.
All right, here's my other one. Going back to the weapons display. If you look closely, when the weapons are displayed, you catch a glimpse of one of the axes that came from one of the prisoners and that was used in Krull. Because the guy that made all the weapons, I didn't say this earlier, but the guy that made all the weapons for Escape from New York was the guy that built the weapons for Krull. So if you look closely, when it pans across there, you see the little handle axe that was used as one of the weapons in Krull.
Nice. All right, well, that's your 2 facts and my 2 facts. So
Okay.
we're done with Give Fact?
Yeah, I think so. So don't forget, folks. If you get
Let's
the
see
right
that prize
one,
again.
you get the right one, you get this copy of Not White Zombie. But Harry Connick, I guess he is a white zombie, right? Harry Connick Jr.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right, everybody, it is interview time, and I want you to make welcome Mr. Ox Baker. Right. The meanest man in wrestling, Ox Baker, yeah. So, Ox, for the listeners out there, is your real name Ox?
My real name would never fly as a tough guy name. I had to change it. Can you imagine if I went by my given name? Torch Badass?
That would be embarrassing. Was acting in Escape from New York much different from the world of wrestling?
Yes. I mainly miss the free cookies. Macaroons. They would put them on my pillow every morning.
Who?
Who what?
Never mind.
Ox, I mean, you're a big guy. Do you have any bodybuilding tips for the kids out at home?
Believe in your dreams. The crazier, the better. I once dreamed I was the Queen of England. And look at me now.
Oh, okay, Queen of England. That's all the time we got, Ox. We're gonna have to go, man. We'll check you later. Wow, there you go, folks. The meanest guy in wrestling, Ox Baker. Yeah, we'll be right back.
You've waited 25 years for the sequel. Never in your wildest dreams would you imagine what is about to happen. Snake returns in his wildest adventure yet. First, there was Escape from New York.
I have a deal for you. You receive full pardon for every criminal action you've committed in the United States. It was an accident. About an hour ago, a small jet went down inside New York City. The president was on board.
President of what?
That's not funny, Pliskin. You go in, find the president, bring him out in 24 hours, and you're a free man.
24 hours, huh?
I'm making you an offer.
Then we escaped from L.A.
This is a full
Where the hell is he going?
Get ready to jump. Head for the tree line and disappear. Go. Go.
Now, New Lime Cinema presents Escape from Hickman, Kentucky. Well, that was easier than I thought.
Touch me, he dies. And on the air 30 seconds after hearing my demands, he dies. Come back in, he dies. We're willing to talk. Don't disarm your weapons, he dies. Don't give me all the change in your pocket, he dies. Don't give me the latest baseball stats, he dies. Wait, what? Wear socks with sandals, he dies. Make a grilled cheese sandwich in an oven rather than in a pan, he dies. Wear white after Labor Day, he dies. Groundhog sees a shadow, he dies. Are you okay? Put ketchup on eggs, he dies. Kiss an angel good morning, he dies. Put the lime in the coconut, he dies. Shake your groove thing, he dies. You're just screwing with us now, aren't you?
20 seconds. 19, 18, 17, 16.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, everybody, that's it again. Another fantastic show for you from us guys right here at the Hail Ming Pow Hour. And we hope that you had a good time.
Yeah, Escape from New York is a great movie. We really enjoyed it, and we're hoping that you will too.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget to check out all the... Yep, there's Titus again.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Hey, not much, Big K. How are you?
Oh, just preparing to execute some Phrygians for our monthly barbecue. You know, we always have such a big turnout for that.
Yeah.
Man, I really do miss those.
Yeah, good times, man. Great times.
Yeah, lots of fun. Hey, I wanted to ask, and you know, I don't care personally, but you said you were gonna blow up the place last time we spoke, and well, I haven't heard or seen anything about it. I mean, Ming keeps asking, where's the fire? Where are the people screaming in torment?
Well, we did blow up Addis Ababa, but the thing is nobody really cared or even noticed.
That's on us. The computer didn't pick as prime a location as needed to. We'll try again.
Okay, that would be swell. Hey, maybe you could blow up that New York place, like in the last transmission you sent? That might be a good location.
Well,
nah.
Like the movie shows, it's a rundown, evacuated place. Even more than in the movie. I think it would just be a waste of power.
Absolutely.
Oh, well. You keep working on a prime location, and I'll try to keep the big cheese pleased. I mean, he's always in a good mood after some barbecue. Gotta run. See you guys later.
See ya.
Clytus ain't so bad.
He has his moments. Anyways, folks, just wanted to tell you one more time, go check out Escape from New York, even if you've seen it 100 times, because I feel like this is the one that just, the gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. You know, just take yourself back to the 1980s when you loved everything, everything punk rock and everything ninja and everything digital, and you'll dig it. Just like that big old watch on Snake Plissken's arm.
Right. Yeah. It says I'm the president.
Hail Ming.
All right, folks, that's it for us. We will check you later.